Yo, what's up, guys? It's a sunny day outside, so I thought, why not bring you another video on the channel for our Road to Glory series for learning C Sharp. And today we're going to be covering comments. Please like, comment, and subscribe so I can keep this Road to Glory series going for you guys. Okay, so just a quick recap on what we covered in the last video. We covered arithmetic operators with some real world examples. We explained the importance of knowing how to do maths when coding. I mean, I will cover more maths in detail in another video, including using the maths class, because I can't stress how important maths will come in to play in most scenarios you will go into in programming or your programming future, whether it be into making your games or making going into industry, whatever it is. There at some point will be some sort of a math, even if it's not complicated. At least you want to have that confidence that you can do it. We also looked into comparison operators and introduced you briefly to the if statement, which again we'll cover in later videos. We looked at conditional operators, Tierney operators, and obviously briefly into the null coalescent operator as well. So if you missed the video or you missed that video, please go check it out. Or please use the playlist to go through the content. It's ordered nicely, so you can just watch each one after the other if you really want to brush up on your skills or really want to get to the knowledge to get you ready for your big job or whatever. Okay, so today we are looking at comments, and no, not the comments in my video or my videos, okay, because there aren't very many at the moment, but maybe when I check back in 3 years time there'll be more I can respond to. But no, so what are comments? Okay, so well, comments are used by us developers to help us and other developers who read our code understand further what we are trying to do. It's kind of like documentation, even though the top dogs at programming encourage you to think of when you're writing code as you are writing a beautiful novel. There's going to be some times, and even they would agree, when you're going to need to give a bit more context about what you are trying to do. So it gives you the opportunity to write readable words. And check this out, it's completely ignored by the compiler as well. Just so you know what a compiler is, it just compiles. Compiler turns your code into machine readable language. By the way, just so you know that. So the compiler completely skips past your comments, and we have three types of comments we can utilize. We can utilize a single line comment, we can use a multi-line comment, or we can use XML comments. Okay. So let me pop over to Visual Studio. Pop that open for you, and we'll just go back into one of the projects that we've been using before. So just go for that one. Cool. Okay. So okay, cool. So let's get rid of all this. Okay. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Okay. So let's have a look at a simple example here. Okay, so we'll create int result equals 5 plus 3. Okay, and we can put that result in here so that it gets printed. Okay, cool. So there is a simple arithmetic operation, and I can write a comment next to it with this. So basically, as I showed you, a single line comment we're doing. So if I do use the double slash here, I can write whatever I want on that single line. It will go to the end of the line. So I want to write something more readable. So I will say this will add 5 to 3. Okay, so anyone who reads this now, reads this line of code, they'll know exactly what you're trying to do here, because it's written in this comment here. This will add 5 and 3. Okay, so that's pretty much how you do a single line comment. I mean, I can even move that on top here and put it there like that. So I mean, that's like that. I can even move it over here and stick it out here, or put it anywhere on here. Okay, I can even run this code now. Okay, let's see what happens. It shouldn't have any effect on it. It just printed out my result 8, but as you can see, it has no effect on anything really. It hasn't broken anything or anything. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. Cool. So I think it's better when you put it next to here, okay, because it's more readable, particularly if you have more comments. Like say if I had lots of these, for example, I can know that this line associates with that one, and you know, obviously this line associates with that one, so you know, it's quite clear to have it on the same line. Okay, and the best thing about it is you can't see any warning lines, okay, because the warning lines obviously tell you you're doing something wrong. So if I was to just write there arbitrarily, as you can see there, you know, I get a warning line saying something's wrong, and the compiler warns me that, you know, something's not right here. But and if I try to run that, it won't work, it won't build. Okay, so but the comment, single line comment, allows me to write all that, and it's completely fine. Okay, cool. So that's how we write a single line comment. Okay, but you can see what, let me go back to that actually. Yeah, there we go. So can you see what's wrong here? Well, I mean, it's if it's not obvious, I mean, why would I want to waste my time writing a comment for something that's pretty obvious? You know, it's obvious that 5 plus 3 is what's happening here, so this is quite readable in itself. So why do I need to write this comment saying this will add 5 to 3? Because anyone can read this, or at least I hope they can, you know. So adding the comment, adding this additional comment is unnecessary. Okay, but for example's sake, let me try and do a comment that would kind of make more sense. So say we have like a constant value, like that we use to calculate someone's salary. So we can declare it here, say const int. We can call that hourly rate, okay, equals 40. Okay, so we can just put a single line comment next to it, saying this hourly rate cannot be changed. Okay, so again, as you can see there, that's a bit more descriptive and clear as to what this is what you're trying to achieve by declaring and initializing this variable here. You know, if I was just to read that on its own, it might be a bit ambiguous as to what I'm trying to achieve, but with this comment here, it's a bit clearer as to myself, or as a reminder, or to anyone else reading it, that, you know, okay, this is a bit more informational context about what this is about. So that's really a bit of an example as to how I would use when to use comments, I suppose, just using comments that basically say what's going on already, what's readable already. So for example, hourly rate, that's you know, it's already quite clear in the name that's hourly rate, so why do I need to write this there? See, cool. Okay, so next up we have the multi-line comment. Okay, and this is when you have a lot to say, and you know, it can span multiple lines. So it's not, I mean, it's not really readable. Like I said, when you want to do this, something like this, today I went to the shop and then I went home and then I went, you see what I mean? It's just getting longer and longer and longer and longer, and if I stretch this out, it's getting carrying on, and it's not really friendly, and it's a lot to read, even though you could see through all the spelling mistakes. So how can we break this up into 2 lines? Okay, so let's do something like this, which is the multi-line comment. Okay, so that's the opening to indicate that this is where we want to start typing the multi-line stuff. So I can say this program will add 2 numbers together. Okay, together, and then I could go to the next line and say then print the result to the console. Okay, cool. Put a full stop there, and then I can close the comment like this. Okay, cool. So that's the pretty much a multi-line comment there. Okay, and the code is pretty self-explanatory. If I, it's the code is going to be pretty self-explanatory. Indicating what it does. It's already saying that it's going to add 2 numbers, and print it to the console. So I'm sure that would be readable if we had something like, int result equals 5 plus 4. So obviously it is adding 2 numbers and it's going to print that to the console. But the point is, I'm showing you there how you can do a multi-line comment. Okay. Finally, XML documentation. That's the last comment, the last form of commenting in C# that we're going to cover. Okay, now this is a special feature in C#. Okay, using 3 slashes, we can describe a piece of code. This can also be done with XML tags within the comment section. Okay, I'm going to cover XML commenting in more detail in a later video, but I'm going to show you a simple example here. Okay, and if you don't know what XML is, please look into that. Do your Googles, Okay, right, cool. So let's create a class, for example. Okay, remember classes are used to create objects in C#. Okay, so it's a way of representing a real life thing in our program. So let's create a class of car. So public class car. Boom, boom. Okay, cool. So we've got our class now. So we want to add some comments. A comment that describes what this class does. So we just go hover over we'll set a marker at the top, and then type in 3 slashes to trigger the XML code that is automatically loaded for you. Okay, and we can write in this area here what the code does. So this excuse me, this is a car class used to create company cars. Okay, quite clear and descriptive. I can even go and carry on with more text if I wanted to. Only use this when creating company car examples. Okay, cool. Examples. Couldn't spell examples there for a second. Okay, cool. So we've got that going on there. Cool. So you're probably thinking, is that it? Okay. No, okay, so when I now go to my program, wherever that is, okay, so it's here in this case, this main method here, okay, and I now want to create an instance of this class, okay, I can say car, okay, and there's the car, and that's IntelliSense almost creating the instance for us, but we don't want to do that in this scenario. All I want to do is hover over this uh, um, car class keyword here, and then as you can see in the section there, it basically prints out what we've added as the explanation in the XML comment. So as you can see there, it's printed out. This is a car class used to create company cars. So it's done that. That's a really nice feature. But yeah, so that's pretty much what we're going to cover in this video on comments. I hope that has really helped you understand a bit about C# comments. Okay, remember, don't go wild on the comments. Only use it when the code is difficult to understand. Otherwise, code should be readable or written to be readable anyway. So before we end this video, I just want to say a real thank you to, if you're watching, I really appreciate it. I make these videos for you, and I appreciate you taking the time to learn. So see you in the next video, guys.